Good. Great. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us for today's important announcement. My name is Dominic Calabro, and I am honored to serve as the President and CEO of Florida TaxWatch. Today, we are joined by Rebekah Dorworth. Rebekah is the Senior Vice President of Strategic Initiatives for Kira Solutions, the lead sponsor of the 2020 TaxWatch Productivity Awards. We're also joined by Ashley Allen. Ashley is the Senior Vice President and Chief Strategic Growth and Marketing Officer for AvMed Health Plans, another great sponsor of the TaxWatch Productivity Awards. There's both of these joined by our Chairman-elect, Piyush Patel, and our Treasurer, Jim Rep of AvMed. We also, of course, include our top award winners who we're very, very proud of. We'll hear from that special group later. Let me tell you, the TaxWatch Productivity Awards program recognizes, rewards, and replicates excellence of state employees for finding innovative ways to stretch your tax dollars through innovation, cost savings measures, and additional extraordinary work that goes beyond and above their call of duty. It is the only kind of program, not only in the state of Florida, but the only kind of program in the entire nation that is privately sponsored, privately conducted to recognize and reward what's best and most excellent about the people of the state of Florida, the state government employees. And we're proud to be able to give back to those hardworking public sector employees of Florida that day in and day out, often without much recognition, are doing a great, great work for the people of Florida. Florida TaxWatch would also like to thank our 30-year sponsor, the Florida Council 100. Some of the other key sponsors besides Kira Solutions include AvMed Health Plans, the state of Florida, and of course, as I said, our key sponsor, Kira Solutions. You know, the program would not be the success it is today had it not been without the longtime support of each of these entities. Now, I'd like to turn this over to Kira Solutions' Rebekah Dorworth to say a few words. Rebekah?
Thank you so much, Dominic. We're honored, and it's truly a privilege to be a part of these awards. We're in trying times right now, and I recently read this week that years worth of innovation, they project about 2 to 5 years worth of innovation has been compacted into about 8 weeks time in multiple industries, but it also includes government. And so we're very proud to recognize those individuals who have been a part of that and who have continually been a part of that. We're so proud to shine a light on the public servants who have been so committed to the worthy cause of making government better, because it doesn't just affect the citizens today, but our children and grandchildren of tomorrow. So making Florida efficient and making it innovative and being a part of something bigger than yourself is such a worthy cause. And I'm so proud that we get to be a part of recognizing it and shining a light on the unsung heroes of Florida's government. So thank you, Dominic, and to our other sponsors for allowing us to be a part of this and as such a long-term committed partner to this, because we really believe in what TaxWatch is doing to recognize and encourage this type of excellent product and behavior from our state employees. And congratulations again to all the winners. Thank you for making Florida great.
Thank you, Rebekah. And also like to note, especially that each of our sponsors, particularly Kira and AvMed and others, are doing a lot themselves in conjunction with our state employees and our state government to bring value-add services to the taxpayers of Florida through their work as well. So they're not only sponsors, they also help emulate that excellence in their own business practices themselves in helping the people of Florida. I'd like now to turn this over to Ashley Allen with AvMed to say a few words. Ashley?
Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here. This is my first opportunity to be part of this awards. Although AvMed has been a longtime participant and huge fan of the process of driving innovation in government. And now more than ever, we need our government to focus on how to be more efficient, more innovative. And I think, as we'll see today, our public servants are really answering that call and doing their best to drive very important services to Floridians. And AvNet is also very honored to be a sponsor of this program. And we are also honored to serve the state of Florida employee program. And thank you for the call out about the innovation that we do within their employee health program. So we also understand that now more than ever, we all have to band together to find ways to do more, to provide critical services. And I love what Rebekah said, that our public servants are often our unsung heroes, and I echo that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, very, very much. And I can't underscore that enough, that what you all do is very important, because Florida TaxWatch, as the eyes and ears of the taxpayers of Florida, and as a research institute looking out for specific ways to improve the quality of life and livelihoods of Floridians, couldn't do it without great partners, not just funding and supporting the program and recognizing these great talented employees, but also through your work by taking some of the innovations and recommendations TaxWatch and others make, but making them a reality. There's one thing to make recommendations, but there's another thing to execute them seamlessly and with excellence. So we want to thank our two great sponsors, particularly in that regard. Before we meet some of this year's top winners, I'd also like to thank the rest of the program's generous sponsors. One of whom is just an icon in Florida, and I'm so proud that one of the key founders of Florida TaxWatch, with Mr. George Jenkins and Mark Hollis and Barney Barnett, we have now with us John Provenzano on our executive committee, representing public supermarkets charities. Public supermarkets has been just a prime contributor and a prime value add in absolutely every community they serve. And so it's a great honor to have public supermarkets continue. And especially when it was funded and founded originally by the Davis family of Winn-Dixie, just to show you they'll cross lines to do whatever's best for the people of Florida. And that's true of all of our sponsors. So first and foremost, I want to thank them as well. We also want to thank Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, who has tremendous strides in quality care, one of the top in the Northwest Florida, North Florida region, as well as bringing a lot of great patient care and innovation to those in South Georgia market as well. Their present CEO is a national leader in healthcare and has brought nothing but great service value add to the communities that they serve. Another one right there is Capital Health Plan. Mr. John Hogan, President CEO, is synonymous with quality care and quality health care through the Capital Health Plan, and we're very proud to have you continue that sponsorship. We also have lead engineering contractors, just wonderful value add, very specifically making sure that all these great designs and construction projects can be done on time and within budget. And just a great job, largely, well, throughout the South, not just Florida, but throughout the South entirely. Also, we have our great friends at Accenture, who do a great job with their innovation, and in particular, David, Dr. Duke, and really doing a great job for all the people of Florida in a great partnership. Also want to thank Jay Smith of Ajax Building Corporation, been a long-standing sponsor partner, has done a lot to build some tremendous buildings all around the state of Florida. We also thank Florida Trend, the publisher, the editor, the key staff that have always been there to sponsor excellence throughout state government. The Florida Institute of CPAs, Justin Thames, thank you, and continue that strong partnership. They're not only these green-eyed shade folks, they're men and women that really care about all the communities they serve as well. And again, seeking excellence is an integral part of their brand. Next, we have the Florida Network of Youth and Family Services. And Stacey Gromansky, who's just an unparalleled president, CEO of that organization, is doing a great job for needy families and children and serving them in such a great way that improves the quality of their life, make sure they can stay at home or find workable, healthy solutions to remain as productive citizens, but also, as we know, save the taxpayers tens of millions of dollars annually. Brand Information Services, just been a great innovator throughout, and is not only here in Florida, but also doing innovative things to provide services, licenses, and lots of things throughout the entire nation. So John Thomas, we greatly appreciate you and your great team as well. Next, almost last but not least, is Steve and Linda Evans. Steve and Linda are just incredible citizens, great friends, and great integral part of Florida TaxWatch. And I'm also happy to thank my wife, Debbie Clavero, and our family for also being a sponsor. The TaxWatch Productivity Awards program, we know today, originated more than 30 years ago, thanks to the vision of the late J.E. and A.D. Davis, co-founders of Winn-Dixie, but also co-founders of Florida TaxWatch. It's a very impressive, a very philanthropic, a very visionary time, and I've been very proud that I helped them formulate it and develop it to what it is today. The Davis brothers wanted a program, an activity that would inspire, would reward, and would recognize the good things, the best things in state government employees, and recognize them for their innovative and cost-saving accomplishments. They said they did it in their business. Why can't government do it in their business? Much like the reason why they helped found Florida TaxWatch, to again, not just be the eyes and ears of the taxpayers, but to help prompt government cost savings, innovations, improvements to make Florida second to none. And I think they've demonstrated that, and their vision continues on. Today, the core of this program remains very fundamental, and we are incredibly honored to carry on their vision and continue to recognize outstanding work and the sharp thinking of valuable state employees. Now, this year's award winners. After receiving hundreds of worthy nominations, Florida TaxWatch is proud to announce a total of 179 productivity awards for 2020. Now, they're not all the same awards. Some are cash, because that's the top awards. There's cash and plaques, and there's just plaques. And we have some notable mentions. But the hard work of these employees really pays off for Florida taxpayers. And that's why we were so happy to start this program a little over 30 years ago. In total, the cost effectiveness, the efficiencies, cost avoidance created by you employees, you workers, innovative leaders in our state, and TaxWatch Productivity Award winners this year will save the taxpayers of Florida more than $300 million. Get that, more than $300 million this year alone. 156 group and individual awards will be given to nearly 600 state employees, and 23 awards are being presented at agency or large team awards, which go to teams larger than 5, such as departments or offices. That means that this year, the total number of employees being honored this year is likely to be in the thousands. That's pretty impressive. I think a lot of people don't realize just how innovative and how valuable the work you do is. It's silent, but really impactful. We try to make it a little less silent, a little bit more understood and appreciated. The awards are spread across 19 state agencies, 4 universities, and range from department heads to the maintenance staff themselves. Everyone can and everyone should contribute great value to the taxpayers of Florida. The awards are split into 4 categories. Number 1, agency and large team initiatives. 2, the innovative use of technology. 3, quality of life improvements. And 4, service quality improvements. Again, this is not just a green eye shade, efficiencies, saving measures. It's about improving and impacting the lives of Floridians in every corner of the state of Florida. This morning, we're fortunate to be joined by our top winners in these categories. So I'd like to give them a chance to tell a little bit about their great accomplishments. First, we will begin with our friends from the Department of Elder Affairs, who earned the top award in quality of life category this year. Led by Ms. Jennifer Barber, the Elder Affairs team partnered with the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, good friends Carol Dover and Bob Bearden over there, and the local area agencies on aging, creating a program where restaurants prepare and deliver fresh meals to elders and adults with disabilities in need, particularly during the COVID-19 lockdown. Just think of how lonely these people would have been and without proper nutrition. So that's a really value add, very targeted, very specific. It's like one of those things, don't curse the darkness, simply go over and light a candle, and that's what they did. I'd like to ask team member Rebecca Roberts to share more of this truly incredible story. Rebecca?
Hey, Dominic, and a special thanks to Florida TaxWatch for hosting this event and to all the sponsors for making this possible. I've worked on so many events and I know that nothing takes place without those sponsorships, so thank you. OEA, we are thrilled and honored to receive the Quality of Life Improvement Award for our Feeding Older Floridians the Restaurant Meal Initiative. To date, this new initiative has delivered over 3 billion home delivered meals to older residents and people with disabilities throughout Florida. And Governor Ron DeSantis supported this, and he eat the 1 millionth meal in the Vieira neighborhood down in Melbourne. The idea was really born when our state unit on aging and our secretary Richard Prudhomme, they have regular meetings with their states, other state units on aging. And of course, the pandemic, they were meeting all the time, right? And there was a local idea in Tennessee where they'd done something like this, but nowhere on this scale, nothing like this. And so the secretary came to us and he said, we can do this. We have concrete meal sites are closing around the state. So seniors aren't getting the meals and the food they need. Restaurants are closing down. They're not getting the business they need, or it's delivery or only. And you have workers that are unemployed, less employed. So what if we take all these needs and put them together? So that was the idea and that was the challenge. So it seems like a win, right? But then there's the logistics of how do you do that? And that's really where the team that I'm here with, Jennifer Barber and Kira Hogue, they did so much. I watched them work tirelessly to manage contracts, to secure the waivers necessary to make these changes, to approve the new menus. And then everything started to happen. And of course, it wouldn't happen without, Dominic, as you mentioned, all the area agencies on aging. We have 11 AAAs, we call them. We have 11 AAAs throughout the state. And so Jennifer and Kira, they worked with them, talked with them, got everything, and it has just been a phenomenal program. Not only did it meet the needs of getting the food to the people, of getting those unmet needs of nutritious meals delivered, also ended up helping break social isolation. Because for some of these people, we would hear from residents, we would hear from people, some of these people, it was the only contact they had had in months. So we also put some mental health flyers, home delivered meals to help this be even more of a success. And it's just been a phenomenal program to work on. I just can't say enough good things about Jennifer and Kira, and thank you so much for recognizing, and we are honored to receive this award. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for sharing a very moving story with us. I love it. It is teamwork. It is it's teamwork, but it's also excellence in pushing each other to do consistently better and better job, knowing that the outcome may not be fully appreciated or understood, but you know that in your heart, that's what drives you. Is what can you do to make the people's lives better, more effective, more efficient? And I think that's really what public service is all about. The excellence of this program is designed to elevate the human spirit. And I think when we do this well, we elevate the quality of public service and make it the esteemed profession it rightly deserves because of your very specific, valuable contributions and the attitude that you bring to work each and every day. So thank you. Next up, we have our top winners in the technology category. So Daniel Smith and his teammate, Osam Abdallah from the Department of Transportation, proposed an innovative system intended to detect and communicate wrong way driving incidents. with first responders, saving lives and millions of dollars. Just think about that for a minute. I mean, people, believe it or not, for all kinds of reasons, they're either busy, distracted, confused, or just driving the wrong way. And what that does is so perilous and dangerous to their own lives, let alone the lives of innocent hundreds, if not thousands of people. So it's something you don't think about very often, but how critically important it is that that one mistake does not occur. So for this team to do it, we really, really appreciate it. And it's hard to put a true value on all the lives, not to mention the significant amount of tax dollars that are saved by this great innovation. So gentlemen, could you please tell us more about this wonderful innovation?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us. We're both humbled by our involvement in this. So at the Florida Department of Transportation, we place safety at the forefront of everything we do. So wrong-way driving crashes presented a unique crash type in that although it's only a very small percentage of all crash types, the consequences that as you'd mentioned are usually quite severe. So our primary question was, how do we deploy a wrong-way driving solution both quickly and in a cost-feasible manner? And this is where the discussions came in that Dan and I had. And Dan had a very innovative idea that we started to work on to accomplish. So Dan?
Yeah, our first instinct was to look for commercial off-the-shelf products to try to solve this problem, detect wrong-way drivers and possibly have countermeasures. And what we found was very expensive systems. I think it was a little less than $5 million. And I was never convinced that it would work well enough for me to ask management for that kind of money. So we sat down and did some more brainstorming and realized that, well, what do we know? We have something on the highways called the microwave vehicle detection system. It uses a Doppler radar, shoots a beam across the freeways, and we can count volumes, we can count cars, we can count speeds, we can count a lot of different things. And these are between 1.25 and 1/2 mile everywhere on the freeways in South Florida. So there's a setting in there which supposedly will detect a wrong-way driver, but the problem is because it's Doppler radar, we get a lot of false positives. And with 700 plus spread across South Florida, that's just too many, it was unusable. So the idea sprung from a brainstorming session. A simple algorithm was created, and that was to use 2 consecutive microwave detector systems that would detect a wrong-way driver within a certain small period of time, 30 to 60 seconds, and that would trigger an alarm. So we drew that out on a single piece of paper about 2 years ago and brought it around to engineers and a lot of other smart people that work at the DOT and say, what do you think? Will this work? It's very, very simple. And we could find no flaws in the logic. So the next step was to talk to the software developers that we have on our team. And they said, this is actually not only fairly easy to do, but we also already have the software, about 80% finished for a different reason. So we already have the software and we already have the hardware. So we almost didn't need to spend anything at all. So the next step was to contact the manufacturer who came down to our Transportation Management Center in Fort Lauderdale, and we set up a test system on the side of the road and proceeded to do a real live test. And it worked flawlessly, perfectly, 100% accurate, no false positives. Our next step after a few months and a little more software development, we talked to the people at Transportation Engineering Research Laboratory in Tallahassee and told them what we were doing, what we wanted to test, and they were 100% on board. We sent them the equipment, we sent them the software, and they tested it. And again, 100% accuracy, perfect system. And at that point, we knew we really had something going. So this is where Hossam's team comes in, probably to actually do the deployment. And so he can tell you a little bit about how we did that.
Sure. So we, once we've developed software, we currently actually have it running in operations for a couple of months now. And again, as Daniel had mentioned, it presents a unique concept in that we didn't need to deploy any new devices or procure any new software. We used what we have, and that was where we really saw the innovation. We, as I said, will continue to have it in operations, and we'll continue, to use it. And the way this would work is once we detect or quickly are able to detect a wrong-way driving incident, we're able to notify the traveling public on the overhead electronic message signs of a potential wrong-way driver. And we really see that as a value where drivers could take corrective action. So we're very happy to be here, and we will continue to find new innovations and new ways to serve the people of Florida. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel and Sam. We truly appreciate the tremendous work to make Florida's roads safer for all of us. Next, we welcome our top winner in the service delivery improvement category, Ayman Mohamed with the Department of Transportation. Ayman's new approach to lighting installation sped up the installation process by several months, sometimes even years, and reduced costs of these projects by no less than 50%. Ayman, would you please give us a brief description of your accomplishments?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First, I would like to thank Florida TaxWatch for selecting me as a winner for this 2020 TaxWatch Productivity Award. It's really an honor to receive this award. Second, I would like to thank FDOT District 5 family, I would call it a family, for their support throughout this process. Special thanks goes to Megan Owens, who assisted me in this process, in our district management and legal teams of their support to facilitate this effort. This effort in District 5 in DOT is, Isam mentioned and Dan mentioned before, safety is #1 for the Department of Transportation. So as you all know, street lighting has proven over the years as being a very effective countermeasure that reduces roadway night crashes significantly by more than 50%. Not only vehicle crashes, but also pedestrians and bicycles crashes. So therefore, DOT developed a safety street and intersection lighting program and process it whereby the FDOT was able to contract directly with local utility agencies. This new efficient process reduced the efforts of local agencies, counties and cities, local counties and cities, as they used to be the middleman between DOT and utility agencies for lighting installation in the old process that we had. So by utilizing agency resources and capabilities, lighting installation become much faster with substantially lower cost to DOT, which can go sometimes up to 50% or more than 50% in some locations, resulting in saving millions of dollars of taxpayers' money. The project that we have is with a 455 intersection with retrofitting. We got federal funds for $17 million. We were able to save at least $9 million from this project only. More importantly, faster installation of street lights saves more life every day in Florida's roadway network, which by itself is priceless. I'm so happy to serve the people of Florida, and thank you, Florida TaxWatch, for this outstanding award. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ayman, very, very kindly. Finally, we're joined today by Leslie Ames, Chief of Staff for the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, our top winner in the agency/large team award category. DEP is receiving this year's top award for their work on protecting Florida together, a comprehensive water quality dashboard created in partnership with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and the Florida Department of Health. Leslie, thank you for joining us today.
Sorry about that, some technical difficulties. Thank you for having us here today, and thank you for the recognition of this award. DEP, we're honored for this recognition. You know, we've worked hard with our partners and other agencies to develop this dashboard available to all citizens and businesses and visitors, and helps display comprehensively water quality conditions in the state for anyone who's impacted by that. This website provides access to information on blue-green algae and red tide and other nutrient issues for various purposes. Previously, through the state, we had no central location for Florida residents and visitors that they could go to view all of that information. And so we worked really hard, and we're continuing to broaden the scope of that dashboard to include preference centers, notifications, and really continue the efforts to present this data in a transparent and accountable manner. And so again, thank you for this recognition and for all that Florida TaxWatch does. And we look forward to joining you all at the award ceremony.
Well, thank you, Leslie. Please be sure to pass along our congratulations and thanks to the entire department for their tremendous accomplishment. After this incredibly challenging year, Florida TaxWatch is so proud to recognize the good work of so many public servants, as we often say, are unsung heroes. Before we end, though, a heartfelt thank you again to our generous sponsors, to our top winners for being with us this morning, and to all the hardworking men and women that strive each and every day to better the quality of life and the livelihoods of the residents of the great state of Florida. A press release with more information and links to the full list of the 2020 TaxWatch Productivity Awards program will go out shortly. If all the participants could please stay with us, we'd now be happy to answer some of the questions that we may have from the media. And before we do close, I also want to provide a special thanks to Bob Nave, Vice President of Florida TaxWatch, for helping to kind of coordinate all this activity with our entire team, as well as Chris Berry, who's done a tremendous job as Vice President of Communications here at Florida TaxWatch, with a lot of additional help with our videographer and Kat Moore. So if there are any further questions, we'll try to answer them. Chris, do we have any?
Give anybody a second to unmute themselves.
By the way, if you do have questions to the media, I know there's many on the call here. We can answer them after this to make it easier so everyone can go on about doing a productive day throughout the rest of this week, particularly in advance. I want to conclude then in saying that Florida TaxWatch remains very, very proud with our sponsors, the Florida Council 100, the state of Florida. We can't thank you enough. What a very fitting time in this week just before Thanksgiving, a week from today, where we give thanks for all the bounty, all the wonderful things our creators bestowed on us and on what we have created and have been received from those who've gone before us that have created the very freedoms that we enjoy today. But it's through constant vigilance, constantly working to do a better job of what you are charged with doing it innovatively, smarter, better, that really gives you value, impacts your life, gives it greater purpose, but also people really do value and appreciate what you do. And we're happy to, in some small way, to give back a little bit of that appreciation for all your great work. So everybody, all men and women, the great state of Florida, thank you for making the Sunshine State second to none. God bless you all. God bless the great state of Florida.